and eventually made their way to the NBA Finals. Jimmy Buckets and company made short work of this Bucks team. So, Coach, listen, we know that the Heat are peaking at the right time right now. So how will this season be different for the Bucks, or are we going to have a similar outcome when it comes to this Heat team facing up against the Bucks?
Well, if you're Milwaukee, look, you think about Giannis with the experience he's gained the last 2 years, with everyone's playing, you know, the type of defense they play against him, make him shoot jump shots. But then you look at the addition of Drew Holiday. I mean, look, Drew Holiday is a difference because, to me, the Bucks, where they've come up short in the playoffs is at the guard play. Well, the addition of Drew Holiday changes all that because this is a guy now that Coach Pete and Coach Bud has a lot of options at the end of the game. We know he can go to Giannis. We know he can go to Chris Middleton, but now he can go to Drew Holiday at that backcourt position. You look at those numbers, almost 20 points a game, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, 45% shooting. So he is the difference maker. I think we're not going to have a repeat of the last 2 years of the Milwaukee Bucks. I think with the addition of Drew Holiday, the way they have played, they didn't dominate the regular season like they did the last 2 years. And that was okay, because what did the best record the last 2 years get them? Nothing. So I think Coach Bud approached this year different. He coached his team throughout the 72-game season to get them ready for this moment right here, the playoffs, because we all know it's about playoffs or bust for the Milwaukee Bucks. There's no turning back. They either get it done or there may be some changes in Milwaukee.
I think some people there want to avoid those changes. And Drew Holiday on both sides of the ball, his impact.
And they're locked in. You think about it. They went all in. Middleton got paid. Giannis got paid. Drew Holiday got paid. Hey, now, I done put something on your plate. Guess what the owner expected? Put something on mine.
Indeed. Couldn't be said better. Exceeded expectations, overachieved, culture change. But we'll focus on the New York Knicks right now, the best record that they've had in years, the first time they've had a winning record since they went to the playoffs 7 seasons ago. And Julius Randle, his numbers have been outstanding. All of a sudden, he's most
all
improved
NBA player. Most improved. Second or third, first, I don't know which team, but he's on one of those
teams.
He's
a top 15 player in the league, and he's a marksman now, shooting over 40% from three. So all this greatness that has come of the Knicks this season, I need to understand, how are the Hawks going to stop this bull in the china shop who's developed this game?
I'm going to tell you this. The Hawks as a team actually have more talent than this New York Knicks team, but this is the difference. Mentally tough, physically tough. They know who they are. They know what they have to do to win. They're going to play through Julius Randle. He's going to spread the ball. He's going to knock down threes. He's going to drive the ball, suck the defense in, and then he's going to pass it. But the biggest improvement for me is his decision-making and his defense. Look, Tom Thibodeau has unleashed the reins offensively. Look, you can take any kind of shot you want as long as you commit to defense. And Julius Randle has committed to defense, his Knicks team has. So it's going to be interesting because the Hawks have more talent and more depth, but New York got home court, and they just got this 72-game moxie that they built up over the season to where they just feel like they deserve to win and advance. So the Hawks may have more talent, but I think the Knicks can get it done because they have that pivotal Game 7 at home if needed.
Julius Randle
averaged. And, by the way, they beat the Hawks 3 times this year.
Well, you took the words out of my mouth. Julius Randle averaged 37, shot 58%. Hawks went 0-3. They held Trae Young to 21% shooting.
They're going to beat him up, man.
3. So what's the game plan for the Atlanta Hawks to counter?
They got to up-tempo. They got to spread the floor. And they got to try to get the Knicks to play fast. All right? If you let the Knicks play at their pace, they're going to be tough. They're going to grind you down and beat you up and make the game ugly. But Atlanta got to get out. They got to open the floor. And that young man right there, Trae Young, he's got to get loose because what the Knicks have been doing, they've been using the size of those guards in that physical play to beat Trae Young up, and they're forcing him to certain spots of the court. And so what Trae Young's got to understand is Tom Thibodeau is a master when it comes to designing defense and shut people down, so he can't take the bait. All right? He's got to attack, but he's got to be ready to move the ball. And if they keep the floor spread and their shooters, Bogdanovich and Herter and some of those other guys, can knock down shots early and open things up, then the Hawks got more than a better chance to beat this team because they have more talent. They just don't have the physical and mental toughness right now that the Knicks have.
I like what you said. So you have talent, versus toughness. That's what we're going to see
Absolutely.
in the 4 or 5 matchup. Two teams that have overachieved, like I said at the beginning, Knicks, Hawks. Can't wait to see that. I love the playoffs, baby. Hey, check this. They call him Joker, but like Rakim, his game ain't no joke. The MVP favorite faces Dame Dollar and the Blazers.
Step and energy that his teammates play with when he's on the floor, then you know you have something special. Anytime you have a guy that affects everyone on your team in a positive way, that's a great thing, not a good thing.
It is indeed a great thing. And the Pacers, they have a lot of injuries. Hopefully they can get everything together. Can't wait to see this game take place. But let's move forward. Another 9-10 matchup, and this is the single elimination. We're talking about the Grizzlies and the Spurs. Ja Morant, last year in the bubble, the play-in situation, they weren't able to get over the hump. They went home. So what needs to change this season for this Memphis Grizzlies team to advance?
Ja's going to have to play big. Look, the problem with Memphis is they play D, they play hard, and they have that grindhouse mentality. There are nights they just can't score enough. And the thing with Memphis, if you can, when you play them, if you can get to 100 points before they do, you have a great chance to win the basketball game. But that's a big if because they play defense. When I watch them against San Antonio, the thing that I'm thinking about is, as much as I love Memphis, we're talking about pop, man. Memphis should win this game. They got more talent. They're bigger. They got the young, exciting players like Ja Morant. But they're going against a guy in Greg Popovich, who is one of the greatest coaches of all time. And I just got a feeling he's going to put together a game plan against his young Memphis team that's going to be tough because it's not just going to be about stopping Ja. He may let Ja shoot the ball, but he's going to lock down everyone else, especially Jonas Valanciunas. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. And then you look at this guy right here, man. He has been, look, he's fallen in love with San Antonio. He's bought into their culture. You know, even though he doesn't shoot the three, look at that, those assists. Almost 7 assists a game.
Career high.
Yes. 5 rebounds a game, 21 points. And so he's the de facto point guard. He gets the ball moving. But I just got a feeling, man, with San Antonio, they may not have the talent in the youth that this Memphis team have, but, man, they got Coach Greg Popovich and they got DeMar DeRozan, so they have an excellent chance of advancing.
Taylor Jenkins, a coach with some promise in the NBA. Could be interesting to see that chess match.
Can the young guy get the old head?
Yeah, hey, listen, I'm loving the pit. Average finals in 3 of the last 4 seasons. Still remains to be seen what's going to happen this season as they will participate in the first play-in tournament in NBA history. Russell Westbrook, the Brody, season averages 22, 11, and 11, 38th triple-double. 3rd highest in NBA history, closed the season with 36 consecutive double-doubles. Now Russ, in his own words, on the Wizards' success.
Long I've always had the utmost confidence in everybody in the locker room and always try to find ways to battle the storm and weather the storm. And, you got to give credit to our coach, number one, because he's done an amazing job of making adjustments on the fly. I know a lot of times that the players get all the recognition, but Scotty did a hell of a job. He's done a hell of a job of just being consistent and finding ways to make us better, along with the coaching staff as well. We had a lot of guys step up, a lot of great things along the way. To kind of get us back into this point where nobody, thought we'd be here.
That's the Brody. You see him on the screen right now. Coach, there's nothing but the Brody and the Big O on that screen. Shouts out to Wilt as well, who is clearly in a class of his own when it comes to putting up numbers. But most triple-doubles in a season, you see the top 4. Very select company when you're talking about Russell Westbrook. So play-in tournament. This is the 7-8 matchup. This is a double elimination situation with the 7 and the 8, the play-in tournament. I'm calling it the pit for short. So if you hear me referencing that, that's what I'm talking about. When we see Russell Westbrook, we know that his career has been, over the last couple of seasons, hasn't ended well in the postseason, being eliminated early. So how much is riding on Russ in this play-in situation?
Well, it's a lot. Well, first of all, I'm not going to say it defines his career. When you look at what Russ has done, he's a winning basketball player, and we forget that